Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to the Sunday night live show. And tonight we are asking who should be the DCU Batman. Now, I'm going to make this absolutely clear from the outset. I think Ben Affleck is a great Batman, but, and there is a but here, right? David Goyer and Christopher Nolan wrote the Dark Knight trilogy. Chris directed the Dark Knight trilogy. Chris and David wrote Man of Steel. I think it was an absolutely huge own goal not to announce when they announced Man of Steel that Man of Steel was canon to the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, they introduced a new Batman and a new universe about 3 years after the Dark Knight Rises, around that, and expected people just to forget about Christian Bale's Batman. In my opinion, it was a huge own goal not to have Christian Bale as the DCEU Batman from the very beginning. Bobcat, hey Mickey, hello Bobcat, long time no hear. Villager, hi Villager. John, hello my friend. How has your weekend been? It's been fantastic. I hope you've had a good weekend, John. In fact, I hope you've all had a great weekend. So in my opinion, the Dark Knight trilogy should have been canon to the DCEU, and Christian Bale should have been the DCEU Batman from the very beginning. So that's my opinion, and you can launch at me and tell me your opinions. Villager, I don't know. Christian Bale's Batman is overrated. I don't agree, Villager. Couldn't agree more. He's one of the best actors on the circuit, and he was a great Batman and Bruce Wayne. I certainly don't think he's overrated. Bobcat, how have you been doing, Mickey? Very, very well. Life is life, isn't it? We've got to look at the bright side. Hope you're doing okay, Bobcat, and always happy for your company. So, who's going to be the DCU Batman? Well, I think Christian Bale has to throw his hat into the ring, because if Nolan is back on side with WB, and I must clarify about that lunch, that Nolan just popped over to say hello after he had lunch with whoever he was having lunch with. But just to see Nolan and the WB CEO on speaking terms is very, very encouraging. John, they should use Robert's Batman going forward. I'm sure that's a discussion. I'm sure they're weighing up these options, what they're going to do here, because it's a bit of a mess, because we don't really have a Batman right now. We don't know who the DCU Batman is going to be. But I do believe that Christian Bale's Batman, considering Nolan and Goyer, who wrote and worked on the Dark Knight trilogy, worked on Man of Steel, it was an obvious business decision, because the mainstream audience, the general audience, loved Bale as Batman. If they heard that the DCEU Batman was going to be Bale and the DCEU was going to be canon to the Dark Knight trilogy, that really would have amped up things for the DCEU. Bobcat, Christian Bale would be cool, I think, but Robert is also a great pick. I personally don't think it's going to be Affleck. That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Who is it going to be? We simply don't know. Villager, Pattinson will be the new Batman. Zaslav wants fresh meat, and Pattinson is more popular among Gen Z. Mostly with women. So, yeah, I'm not going to say this one can't be Batman or that one can't be the DCU Batman. I'm just saying that in terms of a business decision, Bale would have been the perfect fit, and making the Dark Knight trilogy canon to the DCEU was the best business decision. Now, Nolan didn't want to mess around with his Batman. I understand that. But in terms of logic, common sense, and box office, considering it had been 3 years since The Dark Knight Rises, and they were foisting another Batman on us, one that not everyone was kind of, before we saw him, kind of happy with that choice. So I don't know, but I'm not going to sit here with any certainty and say, oh, it's definitely going to be this one. It definitely can't be that one. We simply don't know. It's arrogant to have a definitive response to this. Villager, if they say that Nolan will be writing the new DC movies, it will be good PR. Well, he could be writing the Man of Steel sequel. Who knows? John, we can't have 4 Batmen going forward. We need one Batman. We need one Batman. And I believe there's going to be maybe not a Batman and Joker follow you do, the Joker sequel, but I think there's definitely going to be an older Bruce Wayne than he was in the first movie. Bobcat, let's think about this logically, right? Another Dark Knight movie would make so much money. I think it's a fantastic option. I was watching Batman Begins today, one of my favorite Batman movies. Bale is intense. Bale is popular. If they announce today that Bale is the DCU Batman, see it break social media. It would be sensational because it would be a popular choice. But they are in a situation where they don't really have a definitive answer to who's Batman. Now, at this moment, Affleck's Batman. That hasn't changed in terms of the canon of the films. Villager, do you have intel on Joker 2? I just can't wait. I need more news. I mean, not definitive intel, Villager, but I do believe there will be either a early 20s Bruce Wayne, or slightly younger, and I believe he could be a member of Arkham Asylum. I think they may do a little bit of a spin on Bruce Wayne because it is an Elseworld after all. I do expect Bruce Wayne to be in Joker 2. No question. He was in the first Joker, so they're going to continue that character's story. How they do that is going to be very interesting. But I do expect to see a Bruce Wayne. Now, is there going to be a time jump in Joker 2? I believe there will be. Ryan Dawn Hope, DCU fan cinematics. I hope we get a DCU Batman. I do not mind another Batman. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, if Robert was to be the Batman, right, in the DCU, that kind of makes sense because you don't want to overflow it. Now, I don't know how Matt Reeves would feel about this, but considering he agreed to the Flash cameo, he can't be totally against it. I don't know, because I think some of his producers have even joined DC Studios. So that would hint to maybe Robert Pattinson being the DCU Batman. I'm not against that, by the way. I just think when Man of Steel was launched, and considering the guys who did the Dark Knight trilogy did Man of Steel, it would have been obvious to make Bale canon, and it would have been a popular choice. You can't have a Batman 3 years later and introduce another one. John, the Batmobile chase scene in Batman Begins is my favourite moment from the movie. Oh, John, I've got so many favourite moments from that movie. Bobcat, I've heard so much great stuff about The Flash. The Flash is going to be a big movie, definitely. Ezra Miller is in every scene of the film, just about. It's a kind of Flashpoint movie. It actually treads in Man of Steel as well, which is very exciting. 10 years, the release date, to the day that Man of Steel was released. So it's a kind of DCEU kind of anniversary. So yes, that's exciting. 4 DCU movies next year. So that's awesome. Can't wait for that. So yeah, that's the big question hanging over this franchise. Who's Batman? As I say, right now, it's Ben Affleck, because we haven't seen anything in the films to contradict that he's the DCU Batman. But what do they do with that going forward? They've announced that Cavill is still Superman in the DCU, so they need to make an official announcement on Batman. We need some clarity on this situation. John, I heard that you are coming off Twitter. That's right. I'm considering coming off Twitter. I don't want to pay a subscription. And if my experience is going to be hampered by not paying, for example, not being able to access videos, nobody seeing my posts, then what's the point? And this is just the beginning, everyone, with Twitter. He's going to charge everyone. It's going to become a subscription-based platform. He's fucked up something amazing and beautiful, a brilliant experience, because he wanted to get involved with the culture war. He said he wanted to buy it. He was bullshitting. And then the cult said he had to buy it. That's where we are. Scott Edwards, what's up? Affleck should be the DCU Batman, of course. He is right now, but does he want to be? We haven't got any clarity, Scott, on that situation. But we need an answer. Of course he's the DCU Batman right now. He was the DCU Batman in BVS. He was the same in Suicide Squad, same in Wonder Woman, same in Justice League and Justice League, same in Aquaman, Shazam. He wasn't in all these movies, but in those movies, he was the DCU Batman. And so in all these movies, nothing said that he's not Batman anymore. So until we see what's going on in the next movie, in terms of Batman, we don't know. Scott Edwards, I really hope he's in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. He is, but I don't know what role he's playing. So he's certainly in that one. Is he the DCU Batman? Will they continue Final Crisis and have him stuck in the Elseworld after Flash? No idea. No idea. Bobcat, I'm hearing a lot of talk about Gotham City Sirens movie, which is pretty cool. If you make the Batman DCU canon, we have a great Catwoman for the team. That's true. That's true. It would make absolute logical sense to make Matt Reeves' universe canon in the DCU. I think there's a good chance of that, but it all depends on Ben Affleck, by the way, because we don't know. We simply don't know if he's going to stay. That's the next thing we need clarifying for sure. Scott Edwards, apparently Zaslav said a JSA spin-off film is in development. I haven't heard Zaslav say anything like that, but I would like that, and I would like to see a JSA movie with the entire JSA catalogued when they're at their peak in the 50s, 60s, 40s, whatever. I don't want a JSA film where it's just Dr. Fate, Hawkman, and the newbies. I want to see the proper OG JSA. So I'm cool with Batfleck. Batfleck's cool. I'm cool with Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson did a great job. But ultimately, we need to know what's going on here. As DC fans, I don't think we're being nosy. I don't think we're kind of speaking out of school because we want clarification. It's obvious we need to know. Scott Edwards, and apparently it will release in mid-2024. Nothing's been confirmed, Scott. John, Ben Affleck may not want to play Batman for the next 10 years. He may not, but he may do. That's the thing, John. We don't know. Bobcat, I just think they need to stop fracturing the fan base by introducing so many different versions of these characters. Well, that was Hamada, my friend. Hamada wanted a multiverse strategy. I don't think they want to do that. From what James and Peter and Mike and Pam and David Zaslav have been saying, they want one united universe. Scott Edwards, so you never saw Book of Boba Fett? I saw a couple of episodes. It wasn't that great, mate. It was mid. It was mid. As far as I'm concerned, it's nothing special. You know, the special Star Wars is George Lucas's Star Wars, as far as I'm concerned. And that's just my opinion. It ain't factual. It ain't universal. It's my truth. George Lucas made Star Wars. Scott Edwards, will you watch Mandalorian Season 3? Probably. Depends what side of the bed I get up on, what I'm doing. Busy rehearsing to play Ebenezer Scrooge this Christmas right now, and I'm really excited to be doing that. I was going to say the first bald Ebenezer Scrooge, but Sir Patrick Stewart also played Ebenezer Scrooge. Bobcat, I heard some tea on the Amanda Waller show's plot, but not sure if that's still the plot, considering James Gunn can now make the Suicide Squad 2 if he wants. Right, the Amanda Waller show, I can clarify, is a checkmate show. She will be one of the main characters, but it's not really a definitive Amanda Waller show. It is checkmate, which I think is very exciting. Now, it may not even be a show. It may actually be a movie. Now, who heard? I was on the DC Universe Daily Live today, and I read out my DCU slate. Who hasn't heard what my DCU slate is? If you want to hear it, let me know, and I'll read it out to you. I've got literally 3 phases of a DCU plan from what I would have done. Abraham Herrera, hey Mick, Batfleck needs a new Batmobile. John, we have got one Got one Superman, one Wonder Woman, and 3 Batmen. Yeah, it has to be clarified. Bobcat, I'd love to hear it. Okay. Okay, well, one person said yes, and that's enough for me. So are you ready for my DCU Slowly phase 1? Are you ready? I'm excited because I want to see your reactions about this. Right. DCU phase 1. Man of Steel Master Plan. Green Arrow Screamer, which would introduce Black Canary. That's why it's called Black Arrow, Green Arrow Screamer. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman united. This would be my Holy Trinity movie, and it would set up the Final Crisis story. Supergirl Unbound. We would give Supergirl her own movie. Deathstroke versus Teen Titans. Harley, Joker, and Deadshot. That will be another movie that I will be doing. JSA Takedown. Stargirl, Stars and Stripes. Checkmate, In the Shadows. Green Lantern, Corruption. Plastic Man, Tornado. Justice League, Final Crazy. Say that again. Justice League, Final Crisis. That's phase 1. Now we're on to phase 3. Nightwing, War on Gotham. Batman Under the Red Hood. Wonder Woman, Atlantis Attacks. The Flash, Impulse versus the Speed Force. Shazam, The Curse of Black Adam. Aquaman, Vengeance. Now, Aquaman, Vengeance and Wonder Woman, Atlantis Attacks is about a war in the present day between the Atlanteans and the Amazonians. Vigilante, Peacemaker, Public Enemies. Superman versus the Elite. Martian Manhunter, Martian Wars. Green Lantern, Sinestro Lives. Justice League, New Gods. Now, this is what I would do with phase 3. Injustice. Phase 3 would be the injustice phase where everything goes to absolute shit. Now, I've got 3 movie ideas. Now, obviously, we'd start off with Injustice. Then we would do Justice League Strikes Back. And then we would do Superboy, A New Hope. And they would be my 3 phases of my DCU. Scott Edwards, Supergirl is still confirmed for the Flash movie, right? Well, as far as we know, she's still in the movie. There's no reason to think she's not in it. But unfortunately, my friend, we're going to have to wait till we actually see the movie. Scott Edwards, apparently Wonder Woman 3 is supposed to be a big team-up film. Rumours. I'd love that, but it's just rumours at this point. Please smash the like button, everyone. Yes, so that's my DCU slate. Something I literally just improvised quickly because I wanted to talk about it on today's DCU Daily Live. So I enjoyed doing that and I enjoyed reading it out to you. I think it's a solid slate. Scott Edwards, make Wonder Woman 3 a Trinity film. That was the rumour originally, but with new leadership comes new ideas. Just don't know. We just do not know. I must admit, I love Batfleck's Batmobile. I think it's cool. But the Tumbler is the best live-action Batmobile of all time. Speak to the hand. Bobcat, I like the slate, especially the Injustice phase. That's a cool idea. Yes, I think, when you come to phase 3, you can turn everything to shit. Superman basically goes mad, conquers the earth, not just America, not just Metropolis, but the fucking world. He's a fucking beast. And of course, the only one who can bring him back is his own son, Superboy. Villager Mick, propaganda merchants are in full force again. Everyone is shitting on Superman being back. I don't get it. Well, the people I follow, my friend, on social media are very, very excited. They're clearly not Superman fans. So I would expect people who are not Superman fans not to be interested in it. But that's up to them. I can't control other people's takes. Bat Super, they should cast Justin Bieber as DCU Batman. No. Justin Bieber wouldn't be in my extras list, let alone as Batman. Villager, Justin can't act. Also, he has a big drug problem. Lol. Don't they all? Don't they all? I don't think he was being serious, by the way. But no, Bat Super. I wouldn't hate life if Bieber made it into DCEU. Listen, my friend, Bieber's not going to be in the DCU. There's no reason why he should be in the DCU, and I think really it's not anything we need to entertain or worry about. It ain't going to happen. Not only because I don't want it to happen, it ain't going to happen. These are serious people running this franchise now. Bobcat, I'd love a Justice League movie kind of like Civil War, but they split over Barbara Gordon getting shot kind of like the Killing Joke storyline mixed with Civil War. That would be cool. Villager, did you see Taylor Swift acting? She's terrible, but she's desperate for the EGOT role. Imagine if she gets a DCEU role. Well, you never know these days. I mean, look, I like her music. I don't like her at all. I think she's a very toxic person, but I mean, I wouldn't kick her out on a cold night. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But yeah, look, I wouldn't be ecstatic about her being involved, but I could also start saying, look, MCU fans, we got Taylor Swift. So I wouldn't be overly that angry about it. And I do like her music. John James Gunn has responded to fans about the haircut on Twitter, saying they are focused on moving forward with the DCEU at the moment. Oh, really? Really? Well, do you know what? Well done, James Gunn. Well done, James Gunn. Not because I agree with him saying this necessarily, but these are definitive answers. These are the difference from the new leadership to the past. He's come out like a proper man and he's given a definitive answer. Now, we may not agree with that answer, but I understand why they want to move forward with the DCU. So well done, James Gunn, for at least responding to the fans. Bat Super. Okay, my serious answer is Batfleck if he does not want to then recast. Abraham Herrera. Louise is pregnant after all in the Injustice arc would be perfect for phase 3. You mean Lois? Oh, right. Bobcat Plus, instead of bringing Barbara back as Oracle, I'd bring her back as like AI intelligence. Interesting. Villager, I agree, Mick. Taylor is toxic, although I like her music, but she cannot act at all. She's terrible, but she's Taylor Swift, so she gets what she wants. Bobcat, good on James Gunn for at least being able to voice his plan. This is the point. We never got this clarity before. They were secret squirrels. They didn't involve us. He's done this out of the respect for the fans. He's telling us where it stands. Politely, he's saying, and he's doing it politely. They have no intention of releasing the haircut. But that doesn't stop us from fighting for it. I don't want anyone attacking James. He's got a job to do. And, coming out, to me, kind of earns my respect. Villager, can we please just leave the haircut behind? I don't get why everyone is always stuck in the past and whining about directors of movies. Well, listen, Villager, you are focused and love some stuff, and you're clearly not interested in it, but there's a lot of people who are interested in it. We can't control people to be kind of focused on the things we are. We've got to respect each corner of kind of, what people's mentalities. This is how problems come. So you may not understand why they want it. They want it because we never saw his vision and the man was robbed. That's why they want it. So I think it's important to be fair to everyone's point of views and, not say, well, this is not my point of view. I don't care. So, get on with it. But, I respect your opinion, of course. Bobcat, I will say the haircut looks cool. I didn't really care at first, but the scenes that came out look excellent. Yeah, and I mean, you're a fan of all that as well, those characters. So I think it will be worth your while to be able to see it one day. Unfortunately, let me tell you why they're not going to release it. And it's nothing toxic. They don't want people focusing on the Snyderverse. What's clear about this is they're moving past the Snyderverse. And there's not a chance in hell of restoring the Snyderverse. James Gunn's answer pretty much puts bet to that. Villager, if there's no Zatanna movie, will there be another movie where where we'll make a cameo. Well, Zatanna hasn't been cast yet. All J.J. Abrams projects are probably not going to happen because David Zaslav doesn't like him and he keeps on basically cancelling all his projects or even projects with the bad robot insignia on them. So unlikely. I expect down the road we will get a Zatanna, but it won't be J.J. Abrams' version. And I'm kind of happy because I didn't want a black Constantine either, because I don't see the point. And obviously that's not going to happen now because Keanu is returning, and that's great. And by the way, me saying I don't want a black Constantine doesn't make me a racist. It just makes me honest. I want to see representation and inclusion. It's important. But Constantine is white. Whitewashing, people get offended about whitewashing. It's the same as changing a white character to a black character. You can't just have your cake and eat it, progressives. Bobcat plus the haircut is in the DCEU. Now we're in the DCU. Exactly. This proves they want to leave the old DCEU behind and proves they're doing something new. So even though I'd like to see the haircut, I'm kind of with James on this. Bobcat, why don't they just use the diverse characters? Where are we? Why don't they just use the diverse characters they already have instead of going with the white characters? Good point, Villager. But why didn't the people outrage when Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman? He's a POC, not white, and Aquaman is white in the comics. I'll tell you why, because Jason Momoa is freaking awesome. That's why. Abraham Herrera, create a black character that hunts demons and call him something else. John, it is best to move forward with the DCU. Listen, I totally get what you're saying, John. I understand why people want it, though, so I'm not going to go against those people, but I get it. Villager, it's a welcome change, though. Yeah, to come out blatantly 24 hours after the trending event and say, listen, we're moving forward. But it does prove we're moving away from the DCEU. So this is going to be something fresh. Let's see what they do. To be that honest, because it will be easy for them to hide from this and not have any clarification. But for him to respond to a fan, and I mean, he got a lot of, he was tagged a lot yesterday. So I think he thought, I think he chose one and he said, I'm going to respond to this. The studio are allowing me now to respond to this. So I applaud James Gunn for being, straight with the fans. Bobcat, I've been saying this forever now. If the DCU wants powerful African-American characters similar to Black Panther, make a Vixen movie. Yeah, make a Vixen movie. Maybe they will. But let's hope it's not just a bunch of progressive propaganda and we get a good version of Vixen. Villager, what do you think of the rumor that Dua Lipa will be in a DCU movie? She co-starred with Henry in a movie that just finished shooting, so she definitely has the connections to get a good role. Pure rumor. I don't feel anything about it. She's good. I like her. I wouldn't be against that, but I don't really react that strongly towards rumors. Bobcat, Vixen is such a cool character. She is in the comics, yes, but you have to honor her. And it can't just be tokenism, and it can't be just the progressive saying, look, we represented you again. Let's make this character great. And that's how you honor the black community, not by insulting them. Because what I noticed from progressive Hollywood and entertainment in general, they feel like they're doing minorities and women a favor, and they're not. They have every right to be in films, right? But done properly, like the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. First female Doctor, you should have made her the fucking best Doctor. But what did you do? You made her a grinning ninny that basically just looks in her Sonic for answers. What a shame. What a shame that the progressives in this industry don't get proper inclusion because they have no interest in it. And that's a tragedy. Villager, speaking of black characters, Mick, Disney is rolling out these PR articles mentioning Chadwick's death, which I think is a fucking disgrace, by the way. Chadwick's death right before Wakanda Forever release. It's so obvious they're using his name to people to to see whatever your WF, it's gross. It is gross. It's gross because they don't care about the man. They're using his good name to sell the movie, and it's a fucking disgrace. Abraham Herrera, the way The Flash is going to reset the timeline has to be good, or some fans are going to be pissed. Clearly, they're resetting the timeline in another way than Walter Hamada was going to do it. So still a very important movie. Villager, they're taking advantage of his death. I agree with you. I think it's disgusting. I really do. They're taking advantage of his death, but not even Marvel fans seem to be catching on. They are sheep and can't even think for themselves. It's very important, though, Villager, to kind of say Marvel comic fans are great. It's the MCU shills that are the problem, and there's a huge difference. Bobcat, Wakanda Forever looks excellent. Listen, it's not my type of movie. It doesn't do anything for me. I do, Bobcat, really genuinely hope you enjoy it. Bat Super Inclusion was done better in the past. Yeah, we didn't get much of it when I was growing up, but when it was done well. And there's lots of examples. But it wasn't done enough. If you want to be inclusive and respect minorities and women, you represent them properly, like Jodie Foster was as Starling, as Jodie Foster was as Sarah Tobias in a very important movie called The Accused. Villager, Wakanda Forever doesn't look any better than Doctor Strange and Love and Thunder. I think the bad writing continues. Yeah, I've seen some really cringy scenes from that. Listen, I ain't going to tell people what to like or what to be excited about. Everyone's got the right to like and love and hate whatever they want. I think the problem with the internet is we try and foist our own views on other people, and I'm trying to do that less and less. I used to be really bad, but now I'm learning. The Legend CJ, good evening. Alien is an excellent example of powerful female lead without it being pushed down our throats. Ronnie Dodge, hey Mick, good evening, Ronnie. Welcome to the live chat. Nearly said the DC Universe Daily, but no. Yes, welcome, Ronnie. Villager, I read the leaks, and apparently it won't be Shuri who will be the new Black Panther, but still, movies should not have been made. Never should have been made. If they really respected him, then they wouldn't have even made the movie. And we know why they're doing it, so they can have a female Black Panther. Bobcat, honestly, I do think they are using his death for the marketing too much. It's so obvious, but that's really what the movie is about, it seems like. Yeah, they're still using his death, though. Villager, yeah, but rolling out PR articles is unnecessary. Yeah. Of course they're making it about him. The truth is, once he died, they should have just rested Black Panther, because it's like having The Dark Knight Rises and then having Affleck as Batman 3 years later. It's just too short a time for people to embrace another version of the character. Villager, they can put it in the movie, but don't roll out 50 articles a day. It's too much, and it's blatantly transparent. So I agree with you, Villager. Yep. Very, very true. Some really good takes tonight. Ronnie Dodd, just recasted the character. I know that sounded harsh, but... Well, listen, Ronnie, I just think it's too short a space of time. They should have just rested the character. I just don't think you can just move on just like that. We're not talking about an actor who they've decided to move on from or who's decided to move on himself. We're talking about a man who's died, a human being. Nobody wants to see another Black Panther. Not really. John, with James Gunn in charge, maybe Bloodsport could be in the next Superman movie. Yes, I'd love to see him shooting Superman because I think there's a very interesting situation there. And I think Amanda Waller ordered the hit. The Legend CJ, the guy who played Hawkman would have been a good recast for Black Panther. You're right, but they don't want a man to do it. If they wanted to go that route, Abraham Herrera, Marvel phases used to make sense. Ronnie Dodge, true. I just feel, Ronnie, it's too soon. That's my opinion. Village, I think Michael B. Jordan's character should have stayed, and he shouldn't have been the new Black Panther. Now that would have been a great story, but again, they don't want a guy to be Black Panther. Yep, there you go. Progressive politics at its heart. Bobcat, for me personally, this is like a public sending off for Chadwick. Chadwick meant a lot to me, and Black Panther. So this is just like an opportunity to grieve for me personally, and that's okay. Personally, the grieving needs to be done by his family, and being used and having his memory being used to make, you know, $1 trillion conglomerate money doesn't taste good to me, my friend. So when Christopher Reeve died, I didn't need them to make a movie to honor him. When Heath Ledger died, I didn't need them to make a Joker movie to honor him and to move on with the next Joker. They're just taking advantage of a person's death to make money. So if you're happy with this film and you're excited for it, that's you. And that's great, isn't it? That's brilliant. I'm happy for you. But it smells. It smells of last night's garbage for sure. Villager, I imagine how his family feels. They probably signed NDAs and are probably not happy about the movie being made or including his death in it. I would imagine so. But maybe they think, oh, well, you know, we make some money, whatever. Then maybe they're getting bought off. Hollywood have got all their bases covered. It's the same with Ezra Miller. When that couple took out a restraining order, and 2 days later they took away the restraining order. I'm sure a certain studio had something to do with that, but call me cynical if you want. John, I'm worried about what the MCU are going to do with X-Men. They're going to fuck it over, but thankfully we'll always have X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, Logan. Will always have the great X-Men, and they can never, the MCU just aren't, they don't have the motivations to do great Marvel. So the great Marvel for me, X-Men, X-Men 2, Raimi's Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and, you know, some of the X-Men, other X-Men spin-offs. Abraham Herrera, are you going to go see Wakanda Forever, Mick? Absolutely not. I have no intention, no interest. You know what I'm going to do, and I've suggested DC fans do this, is go and watch Black Adam instead of Wakanda Forever, because I'm going to do that on Saturday, Friday, and Sunday. Ronnie Dodge, I'm excited to see James Gunn's blueprint from the DCU and hope we see David's movie so we can move on from the Snyderverse. And have you heard James Gunn has clarified about the haircut that they're moving on and looking forward with the DCU. So, yes, Ronnie, I think we are moving forward. We're not looking back. We are looking forward. It is what it is. What can I say? I understand their mentality, and it's the only way to move forward because there's not much money in the haircut. I think it's important. I did a video today saying how important it is. Directors' freedoms are important. What happened to David was absolutely wrong. Now, personally, I don't think it's a big deal to release the haircut, but clearly they don't want to do it. Ronnie George, oh, did James say that? Oh, boy, I bet some fans was not happy. Well, I was on here while he said it. I'll check it out later and retweet it and quote tweet it and respond to it. Now, I respect him for coming out and responding to it because the old leadership would have just ignored the situation. So I respect the man for coming out and responding. He's a good guy. This is why it's important he's there. Villager, the propaganda merchants are fuming, I bet. I bet they are. Yeah, you know what? Bobcat, me personally, this seems like what Chadwick would want from interviews to keep inspiring people. Look, do you know, I feel very uncomfortable, Bobcat, trying to guesstimate what a dead person would have wanted. We simply don't know what he would have wanted. Maybe he'd be happy with it. Maybe he wouldn't be. The truth is, Bobcat, we don't know because he's dead. And when someone's dead, we should allow them to rest in peace, not use them to make another $1 billion. So maybe you're, Bobcat, it doesn't seem, at least from the trailer, that his shadow is looming over it. But like his soul is with the film, that's just me personally. I mean, look, I like Black Panther, but I wasn't that. I'm not a big Marvel fan anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I like the early phases of Marvel. I like Iron Man. I like a lot of what they were trying to do, but it's not for me anymore. It's not made for me. They don't like me. They've told us. They told us in She-Hulk they don't like straight white males. Villager, it's just distasteful for $1 billion studio to use his death for attention. Yeah, and I noticed it, and I called it out on Twitter immediately because it's so obvious what they're doing. Abraham Herrera, the music industry does it all the time. In fact, artists are worth more when they die. Yeah, listen, look, all I'm going to say is it's distasteful. You know, they've been making money off Elvis's music for fucking years, haven't they? Ronnie Dodge, just look good on James for doing that. And also, we need to embrace the future, not the past, like James says. Listen, I totally understand what he's saying. I think the haircut should be released. I'm not going to go back on that. I think it's important. But I'm also not going to get upset with what James said because I think he's right. I think we do need to look forward. Villager, not really, unless they're Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson. Bobcat, to me, it seems like they are honouring him more than using him, but that's just my personal opinion, and you're entitled to it. But I do think they're using him. These people are not genuine, Bobcat. They're not genuine people. I know what these people are like. I've been out there. I've seen how they operate. All they care about is success and how, you know, they will tread on anyone and use and abuse anyone to get to what they want to do. They're not nice people. You've heard the reports from VFX artists how Kevin Feige treats them and treats them like slaves. These are not good people, I'm afraid. Don't trust the industry. I love movies. I love TV. I love storytelling, right? I'm an entertainer myself, right? Here in Cyprus. So I love the industry, but there's a lot of bad people in it, especially in Hollywood. Running Dodge, I hate they're doing these biography movies on music stars. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting movie because you had Bryan Singer who had to leave the project for one reason or the other. And then we had, what was his name? I forgot his name now. He was in Press Gang and he ended up directing that film. Villager, I don't hate them. I love them. Villager, I loved Elvis. Yeah, Elvis is a legend. My late dad was Elvis mad. Imagine being young in the 60s and the way it was. What a beautiful time, and I wish I experienced it. I love the past. I love the past that I wasn't alive in, because to me, it's better than what we are today. Yeah, we've got technology, but we're controlled by technology as well. It's become a drug to us. It isn't good. We just get angry all the time. Bobcat, I loved Elvis personally. Yeah, Elvis is a legend. Oh, the film Elvis. Yes, the film Elvis was awesome. Ronnie Dodge, I just think they're gonna milk. There's a Whitney movie coming out in on Boxing Day, right? Yeah, I'm not interested. I love Whitney, but you know, Villager, I wish I could see Elvis in person. Wouldn't that be nice? Arun Kumar, all I want from Batfleck is 3 more movies. Is that all? One solo movie. Jesus Christ! You did start this. You did start this comment with saying all I want: one solo movie, Trinity movie, and Justice League 2. I know he's 50, but he could easily bow out of these 3 films, and I would be happy. John, when do you think we will get a trailer for The Flash and Rebel Moon? Rebel Moon, you may get one beginning of next year, end of this year. In terms of The Flash, I expect one to be attached to Shazam, Fury of the Gods, because it's the next movie after that. Ronnie Dodge, my aunt saw Queen at Band Aid in the 80s. Wow, what memories they were, eh? Queen were legends. Freddie was a genius. Bobcat, that's awesome, Ronnie. I am just a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Villager, I feel like Snyder fans don't care about Snyder as a director and his art. They only care about his DC movies. I think you're right, but they need him because he makes the DC movies. But it looks like the studio isn't entertaining him as a director anymore. Ronnie Dodge, run what James just said. Sorry, mate. Notifications. Right, Ronnie Dodge. What James just said, I think that's possible. You mean after what James just said? I think that's possible. Yet he's very interactive with the fans, James, and that's part of the reason he's there. Part of the reason he's there is because people like him and he interacts. And he's a name. He's a name. Yeah, Pagey, you don't know nothing, mate. Villager, when are they going to admit that Patty Jenkins isn't back? That's a really good point, Villager. That's actually the most intelligent thing I've heard a fan say in a long time, because she was threatening to keep on making more movies. So it's interesting, isn't it? They're going to have to clarify that. That's another important situation. They're going to have to clarify it. They will. Jesus Christ, these notifications, man. Right, Abraham is busy making big budget sci-fi and zombie movies. I don't think he cares anymore either. Oh, he cares. Oh, he cares. There's no question about that. But whether he cares or not, he's not in control. He would bite their hands off if they offered him another opportunity, but it looks like that's not going to happen. And they're beginning to clarify situations. It's very interesting. Bobka, I think with the Black Panther thing, you might be right thinking about it, but I'm saying, like, for me personally, it's grieving things. Sorry, not sure if I made that clear. Yep, you certainly did. Villager, I think Zack continues to give the DC Snyder fans scraps because it brings him attention and keeps them engaged. Absolutely, he needs them. Ronnie Dodge did see fans getting angry at Gunn, but end of the day, him and Peter are in charge. End of story. I'm not surprised. They weren't, he wasn't going to get applauded for it, but at least he's being honest, right? But yeah, and I mean, look, there's a lot of basic people out there who simply don't get it. So the fact that he's come out, he knows he's going to get hate, but it just proves that they're toxic, doesn't it, as well? You can come out and say, James, I don't agree with you, but I respect you for coming out. Villager, why does everyone hate Gunn all of a sudden? They don't. He can actually write competent stories. They should suck it up. Most people like James Gunn. I mean, some people don't, mostly Snyder fans, and they don't like anyone apart from Zack Snyder. So I don't think they're a good barometer. Bobcat, not like the companies making it out of for love him, but that's how I'm going to perceive it for me personally. Companies are greedy. Yeah, they're not good people. They're not good people. There's no good trying to say they are because they're not. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about making money. Of course, I understand that. But there's ways of doing it. If you're going into that industry thinking you're going to make friends and they're going to be nice to you, you have not been paying attention. Virgil, if I'm being honest, Mick, I'm glad you don't seem to be shilling so much for Snyder anymore. I get why his movies are liked, but he wasn't the perfect fit for DC EU movies. Let me clarify my position, Villager, so there's no misunderstandings. Zack Snyder is a brilliant director, in my opinion. I love Man of Steel. I love BVS. I love the Snyder Cut. But I also understand it was a mistake to bring an auteur director, a divisive one, in a central DC franchise universe. So I agree with you, but I support Zack. So yeah, I'm not going on about him as I was when I was trying to get them to release the Snyder Cut when I was fighting with that campaign. But yeah, I still like him. I will always treasure his DC movies, but I can also accept the fact that he's probably not coming back. It's all about balance to me. Villager, I like his directing, just not his writing. Ronnie Dodge, my only complaint for Snyder is he rushed Batman and Superman too soon. That was the studio, my friend. That was the studio. But what happened, happened. You can't go back and change the past, unfortunately. And as James Gunn has said, we're looking forward. So, right, Abraham Herrera, in that case, it was Nolan's fault. No, it wasn't Nolan's fault at all. It was the studio's fault. Oh, you mean it's Nolan's fault for bringing Snyder on? Yes, because he didn't think he could direct the Superman movie. And if he did direct that Superman movie, by the way, but I remember Christopher Nolan at the premiere, he was praising Snyder to bits. He still believes in Zack Snyder. But do you think Peacemaker and Harcourt will end up together? I ship them. That would be fun. I don't know if James Gunn would like another man. You know, got to be careful here. Things can happen, you know. You don't want to push them together. It may become a reality. I think they'll tease it rather than it ever happening. Because Gunn doesn't really seem interested in romantic storylines. And I know that in Guardians, you know, Chris Pratt's character and Zoe's character have a romance or kind of a romance. But I don't know. I would pick John Cena over Gunn any day long. Yeah, I mean, you can probably imagine. But maybe Gunn's secretly a great lover. You never know. Ronnie Dodge, I want to see the movie, but what will be, will be. Yeah, I want to see the haircut, but it don't look like it's going to happen. So it's a shame because David Ayer really backed James Gunn during the marketing. He was very supportive. Obviously, he was being supportive for a reason. John, why do the Batmobiles always get destroyed in the movies? Well, he's Batman. He's going after villains. So it's kind of common sense that they may end up getting destroyed, my friend. The Tumbler is still the best. The Tumbler is the best Batmobile I've ever seen. Love to see that come back. Ronnie Dodge, is the 89 Batmobile going to get destroyed in The Flash? Probably. I don't know anything about that. Can't help you there. Maybe. But considering he's in... Don't forget, if they do keep... Now, originally, he's meant to be in the new timeline. Now, we don't know if he will be, although Jason Momoa did hint that both Affleck and Keaton are in the Flash movie. Or was he being mischievous? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe even Momoa doesn't know what's going on. Villager, why are you against Keaton as Batman all of a sudden? I'm not. You're not listening to me, I'm afraid. I still wouldn't mind him coming back, but Keaton doesn't seem to give a fuck about being Batman. I'm not against Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's a great Batman, but he's in his 70s now, and he certainly can't be the main DCU Batman. But looking forward to seeing him in the Flashpoint universe in the Flash movie. Abraham Herrera, The Flash comes out in March. No, it comes out in June. Ronnie Dodge, maybe we have both at the end of the movie. I think that Affleck is stuck in the Elseworld as part of the Final Crisis story. Maybe, if they don't change that. And I think that's his only representation in the movie. And I think Keaton will have a bigger cameo if he stays in the timeline. That could all change now. Villager, who do you think they'll recast as the Flash? I think they're doing reshoots and will change the ending and make it a different actor. Well, I think they've already done some extensive reshoots in around May, so I think they've made the changes they wanted to make. But Ezra Miller could still keep the job. Nothing's been said. We won't know. So it could be anyone, or it could still be Ezra Miller. We just don't know at this moment in time. Ronnie Dodge, whatever James Gunn and Peter do with DCU, I'm excited. Well, listen, I will judge every decision they make, you know, on a balance and see, in my opinion, if they're good decisions or not. Ronnie Dodge, I feel Ezra will get off. Villager, no, I don't believe Ezra will stay. He is bad PR and Zaslav knows better. I don't know. I simply don't know. It's an unpredictable situation. It could go either way, if I'm honest. But they may have already done something for the end of the Flash movie. Who knows? Bobcat, all right, Mickey, I have to head out for a meeting, but great talking to you. Had a great time with everyone. Great to see you as always. Ronnie Dodge, hope to talk again soon. Thank you, Bobcat. It's been an absolute pleasure to read your comments and interact with you again. Hope to see you soon. Ronnie Dodge, Bobcat, welcome back, mate. Ronnie Dodge, talk soon. I mean, it definitely is looking like they want to move away from the old DCEU. And the way James has spoken tonight, it kind of seems that way. Villager, do you read blind item sites? I don't even know what they are, so that would be a no. Hunter Icky, any news about the Nightwing movie? None. It's on my slate though, but not on the official slate. Ronnie Dodd, James and Peter are definitely moving away from Snyder and putting their own stamp. The universe, yeah, look, they've got to create a brand that people want to consume with every time there's a DCU movie or TV show, like with Marvel. When you hear there's a DCU movie, you've got to come in. So they have to create a brand that people actually want to consume because the DCEU hasn't been that way. It hasn't worked. So this is what they must do. Ronnie Dodge, everything is interconnected now. It looks like it, but of course we'll have to wait and see exactly what their DC universe is going to look like. But it should be great. Abraham Herrera, do you know who is directing Babylon? I don't know nothing about Babylon, and I don't know who's directing it. No. I'm just waiting to find out who's going to direct Superman. Villager, do you think they'll make a Black Adam sequel? I hope they don't. They ruined the character. Well, the studio's happy with the movie. Most people who've gone to see the movie have enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it as well. Apparently, they have completed a sequel script for that movie. That's just a rumor. Ronnie Dodge, well, Harcourt in Black Adam is after Peacemaker. Yep, that's true. Villager, I want him to fight Shazam and then die. Sorry, The Rock. The animator who lost. I have a theory that Mongul will come to Earth because his daughter died in the Suicide Squad. That's a damn good idea. Ronnie Dodge, I'm seeing it again tomorrow. Awesome. Abraham Herrera, Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt movie. Yeah, Brad Pitt could be the new DCU Joker. That'd be cool, right? Ronnie Dodge, I just want more JSA. Well, the guy who produced the film has been speaking and saying he can see a great JSA movie where they're focused, at the peak of the JSA in the history. So it looks like something could happen there. Villager, did you watch The Prey on Hulu? What did you think of it? I think it's okay. I haven't seen The Prey, and unfortunately, Hulu is only available, I think, in Canada and America. It's not available internationally. So, no, I didn't see it, unfortunately. Hope you enjoyed it, though. Basically, here in Cyprus, the only streaming service I'm officially allowed to have is Netflix. The rest, I have to find different ways. I'm not saying I actually consume them those ways. I'm just saying. But, yeah, officially, I can only watch Netflix, which is ridiculous. Ronnie Dodge, prequel JSA movie is good before the Justice League becomes a thing. Villager, so is Netflix the only streaming service that is available in almost every country? If so, that's so sad. Everything is America-centered. Yes, and it's pathetic, and that's why streaming services are struggling. Because it's not their fault. It's the copyright laws. It doesn't work. That's why I don't want them releasing loads of DC content on HBO Max. I'm more happy that they're selling the Batman animated thing over to another one, which looks like what they're going to do, because HBO Max isn't available to everyone. So it's not going to work for them. They can release it on HBO Max, but they need to serve their customers and make it available to all of us. So like Rebel Moon, I'm excited because I'll be able to watch Rebel Moon because I actually do want to see Rebel Moon. I hope it's awesome. Villager, what do you think of Zaslav focusing on Harry Potter from now on? I hope it doesn't go through and the J.K. Rowling controversy will come up again. Well, personally, my friend, I don't really get off. I don't get a boner off of controversies coming up. Harry Potter is a very important IP, and it's not going to be forgotten about. He is going to talk to her, and they're going to come up with something. It's big money. Hunter Iggy, Black Adam box office mojo is, I don't understand that, Hunter Iggy. What are the numbers about, my friend? Oh, you mean the box office, yeah? Yeah. Basically, Shazam money. I think it's guaranteed 400 million now. That's more than what Shazam made. It's a solid box office, and the studio are pleased. Ronnie Dodge in England, you can't even see every Premier League match, but in the America, you can. It's our British sport that we can't even see. Yeah, but apparently they may start televising 3:00 kickoffs. But we couldn't even see Man United today. Ridiculous. Although, did we want to fucking see Man United today? I don't care who was playing, how tired they were. We were playing one of the worst effing teams in the league, and there's no excuses for that. None. Villager, ha ha ha, I'm still laughing. The Rock thought he was above Shazam, but the general audience loves Zachary Levi more. Well, what I'm saying to you is that Black Adam's going to make more money than Shazam, just about. So it's equal. Shazam and Black Adam are not huge characters. They were never going to make huge box office. The Black Adam box office isn't a disaster because you don't have to make $1 billion every time. And that was never going to happen. But whatever makes you happy, Villager. Ronnie Dodge, no, I didn't want to see that game after that performance. We play Villa again on Thursday for the cup. Oh, God. We'll probably beat them. But it's ridiculous. It really is. It's embarrassing. But I never expected too much in this season because it was a rebuild. But that hurt today. That really did. We should be beating them. The animators who lost, the MCU didn't start off making billions. No. So obviously the DCU's like 10, 12 movies old. You know, it should have established a brand. But it hasn't. John, what was some of your favourite episodes of Quantum Leap? Oh, wow. Hang on. Jonathan Garcia, it should be Ben Affleck as the DCU Batman. Thank you for that, Jonathan. My favourite episodes. The first episode I ever saw of Quantum Leap was Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, I think the episode is sensational. It's movie length. But I don't agree with the conclusion of the movie. Now, the creator, Donald, actually served not in Vietnam, I don't think, or maybe it was Vietnam, with Lee Harvey Oswald. So he believes Oswald did it, but he didn't actually prove it in the movie, did he, in the episode? But I love that episode. I love the evil leapers. I think they're fantastic. I like it when he's in the asylum and he starts going mad and he starts, like, showing character traits of all the people he's leaped into. But, John, there's so many great episodes. It's a great show. Villager, do you think Zachary has a huge drug problem? He's aged in the past few years. No hate to him. I just think it's too noticeable, and he's supposed to play a superhero that doesn't age. I don't know if he takes drugs. I don't really care if he takes drugs because people do lots of things that maybe they shouldn't do. We all do things we shouldn't do. None of us are perfect. So if we're not perfect, how can we expect them to be perfect? But to me, he doesn't look... I mean, obviously, he's going to age since the last movie, 2019... I think they made the film in 2021 or whatever they did, right? So he would have aged a couple of years, but I don't think he dramatically looks older, if I'm being honest. Ronnie Dodge, I brought us back to earth that we are in a rebuild and not finished quite yet. Shiny Pokemon Hunter, not a Zachary Levi fan. Maybe he can win me over in Shazam 2. Ronnie Dodge, if Ben doesn't want to come back, then maybe try to persuade Rob to become our Batman. I don't think you need to persuade him. It's Matt Reeves that needs persuading. And maybe they've had those conversations already. I was talking about Christian Bale. I believe that Christian Bale should have been the DCEU Batman, considering Nolan and Goyer were involved in Man of Steel. Ronnie Dodge, was the Amon's actor birthday the other day? He's 15, looks older, lol. Villager, he's so charismatic, and that's what brought people to see Shazam. I like his personality. You can tell he drops panties everywhere, lol. Okay, John. And Scott was great casting for Sam in Quantum Leap. He was. It was amazing. And the whole storyline between him and Al was brilliant because Al was a broken man. His girlfriend remarried, or his wife remarried. So basically, that's why Sam brought him on board to Project Quantum Leap. He felt empathy for him. And ultimately, he chose the right person. And basically, the Quantum Leap arc is all about Al, considering how it finished. Amazing. I Am a Legend, Affleck. Shiny Pokemon Hunter. Really, Zachary Levi has the personality of an enthusiastic middle school gym. Oh dear. Anyway, I like that. I like that. Ronnie George, Black Adam gave me Terminator vibes, like how Tef was reacting around people, and I liked it. Yeah, I can see where you're going for there. Villager, lol. Villager, Black Adam as a character isn't as fun as Arnold's Terminator. Look, I'm not going to start comparing one with the other because really one has nothing to do with the other. I think Ronnie was just giving a little comparison from his point of view. He isn't as intimidating. He's all looks, no bite. Don't forget that Arnie was being directed by one of the greatest directors, Jim Cameron, of all time, and not some, basic director. Let's be honest. But no, Arnie does intimidating. The Rock does pretend intimidating, if you like. Friendly, child-friendly intimidating. Welcome to Movies TV Mad. This is our daily evening, nightly live shows, and I'm loving doing them. Villager, what do you think of the direction the Terminator has gone? I think it's sad. The sequels suck. It's simple, Villager. We only needed 2 Terminator films. Although, I actually don't mind Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. But after that, although, I must say this again, Terminator Salvation at least tried to do something different. And it's not a bad movie. But the rest of them, yes, suck. The Animator Who Laughs, when Black Adam does fight Shazam, I think the box office will be better. Absolutely. Ronnie Dodge, well, Black Adam is an anti-hero. I love the scene with DC Dr. Fate said, do you have the prisoner? And look back, he didn't make it. Hunter Iggy, Movies TV Mad, what MCU actors and actress would you like to see in the DCU? Robert Downey Jr., definitely Chris Evans. When he was a bit younger, I would have had him for Superman. Karen Gillan, I think she's great. I'm sure there's some more in there. But yeah, mainly I'd like them to go for fresh actors and not. But I'm sure James will grab some people from his Guardians kind of movies as well. Ronnie George, Karen Gillan as Poison Ivy. Yum. That would be fun. There's some interesting comments tonight, isn't there? It's been pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying your opinions. Ronnie Dodge, she's the perfect height for Ivy against Margot's Harley. Yeah, because Margot's quite short, I think. The Animator Who Laughs, Andrew Garfield as Nightwing. Isn't he a bit too old now? Don't know. Not sure about that. Andrew's had a lot of fans since Spider-Man No Way Home, hasn't he? So I was surprised that James Gunn reacted to release the haircut campaign. Ronnie Dodge, I like Brenton Thwaites as Nightwing in Titans, to be fair. Villager, do you think Gaga or Margot will do Harley better? Oh, I think Lady Gaga is gonna shoot out in the. Basically, I think she's gonna nail it. Yeah, I think she's gonna make Margot Robbie look ordinary because Lady Gaga is a talent. Hunter Iggy, Karen Gillan reminds me as real Batgirl for Ben Affleck Batman. Yeah. Although, isn't she too old to play Batgirl? Villager, I think Gaga will do Harley better. She's fantastic, and I can't wait to hear her sing with Phoenix. Oh, it's going to be a unique movie, isn't it? Ronnie Judge, Gaga is going into her inner dark side, and I'm excited. Oh, yeah, I mean, what a bit of casting. I mean, one of the most famous women in the world playing Harley Quinn. Shiny Pokemon Hunter, both Affleck, Adam, both Black Adam and Shazam are C+ films. Yeah, they're solid. They're solid. You can go and enjoy them. They're solid. You eat some popcorn, you have some fun, and then you leave the movie theatre. That's the whole point. It was never going to be War and Peace, was it? Ronnie Dodge, Gillan would make a good Barbara Gordon. Maybe. Of course, Lois Lane is a redhead. Karen is a redhead. Shiny Pokemon Hunter, I'm ready for Joker 2. I thought the first one was a masterpiece personally. Oh, I loved it. One of the best DC films ever made. Villager, do you think they'll give Gaga's Harley the classic red jester suit? She would look amazing in it. I don't like how they gave Harley a different outfit in the Suicide Squad movies. Oh, yeah, and wouldn't surprise me if that was down to Margot Robbie herself. Ronnie George, Gillan as Lois Lane. Ah, I see. Yeah, you see. And you know what? I haven't been thinking about it. I just thought about it at that moment. She'd be perfect. And the way she plays her companion, Amy Pond, in Doctor Who, with all that spirit, oh, I think she'd be really, really good. Maybe I'll tag James Gunn about that one. The animator who loves. Shazam had personality. Black Adam had action. Yeah, listen. But, Shazam's perfect for the audience it was supposed to be for. And Black Adam is perfect. I've spoken to untold people who want to see this film and not DC fans. They really liked it. My brother, my sister, their kids, they went to see it and they enjoyed it. So I think basically mainstream people who are not into DC are loving it. And I haven't heard a DC fan say they didn't like it. John, Ronnie Dodge, yeah, tweet him that idea. John, I hope we get to see some unknown DC characters in the DCU going forward. Yeah, my number one I want is Plastic Man. Villager, Shazam is an amazing movie and has story, characterization, and a great message. Black Adam doesn't have much storytelling merit. Sorry, not sorry. No, listen, the movie is entertaining. You can't deny that, Villager. And, a movie starring The Rock isn't supposed to have great depth and all of that. It did what it said on the tin. It said what they said in the market. It did what they said it would do in the marketing. So if you went in to see that film, you should have not been surprised what you got or disappointed. Ronnie Dodge, Firestorm in the DCEU would be cool. Oh, yeah. Firestorm, yeah. I mean, they did it justice, I think. One of the few things they did justice in Legends of Tomorrow, when I still watched it. I mean, Victor Garber, come on. Villager, well, if David directed it and wrote it, it would be better. I think you're right. I think the director is connected to The Rock. I would have preferred if all his people weren't involved in the film. So I think you may have a point there. The animator who laughs, the Suicide Squad had Booster Gold and Firestorm villains. So it's a possibility. Interesting. John, I want to see a Green Arrow live action movie. It's on my slate. My Green Arrow movie, I nearly did the Black Arrow again. My Green Arrow movie is called Green Arrow Screamer because I'm introducing Black Canary. Do you get it? And basically in my film, she's introduced and she can't control her voice and she's causing chaos and Green Arrow has to do something. Bit of a weak story really, but I thought it sounded good. The animator who laughs. Weasel is a Firestorm villain. Ah, interesting. Villager, I just remembered Taylor Swift and The Rock are friends. He promoted her song in Super Pets and helped her with her music video. I do think it's possible she gets a DCU role, which will be interesting. Yeah, I don't like her. I like her music, but I would boast if she got the job. I'd suddenly say I love her to bits. Shiny Pokemon Hunter, will Green Arrow have the trademark moustache? That's interesting considering what we saw. I mean, obviously he had a little kind of beard in the Arrow show. Obviously in Smallville he was clean shaven. Maybe they may go a little bit more comic book accurate, which would be great. John, who would you cast in your Green Arrow movie? Oh, I don't know. Who would I cast as Green Arrow? That's a difficult one. It's not the one everybody wants, by the way. But there are some interesting actors out there who could do a good job. Who's that guy who played Robin Hood in that shitty Robin Hood film? You know the one who's a kind of that comedic James Bond movies? That one, that guy. What's his name? The animator who lost, Green Arrow better get the hat. Yeah, he needs to be comic book accurate, I suppose. Get the characters and the world right. That's the most important thing. Villager, okay, weird question. Have you seen that deleted scene between the Penguin and Catwoman from the Batman? I have. I feel like they hooked up in real life. The scene had heavy tension and chemistry, lol. It is make-believe though, my friend. Ronnie Dodge, I would love James to keep Connie Nielsen as Hippolyta, but maybe she dies in the third movie. Yes, maybe she does. I don't think, listen, if it's all going to keep on being connected to the old DCEU, I don't think they're going to change actors like that because Connie, there's no reason to replace Connie, is there? And Connie Nielsen is very, very good as that character. More great casting by Zach, as far as I'm concerned. Looking forward to going back on Twitter later on to see all the anger over what James Gunn said. Might stir it up a bit because it's fun. Ronnie Dodge, I would love James to keep Connie Nielsen. Oh, no, I've already read that. Duh. Ronnie Dodge, oh, the responses he's got will be funny. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Well, he's just going to ignore them, isn't he? He's made his point now. Made his point. He's going to get on with his day. The animator who lost. There were rumours that Charlie Hunnam was in talks for Green Arrow role. No, he's just a fan casting. Personally, he ain't right for the role, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know why everyone wants him for the role. That's just weird to me. Villager, have you seen the rumour that Selena Gomez will be Spider-Girl or Spider-Woman? No, but it doesn't surprise me. John, yeah, Taron Egerton would be a great Green Arrow. Ronnie Dodge, him and Peters are the president of DC Studios. Say that again, Ronnie Dodge. Him and Peter are the president of DC Studios. Deal with it, I say. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. So, they can mouth off, but it doesn't make any difference. But it's fun to see. Villager, do you think Cheetah will be back? Well, Villager, I don't really want to see that. I love Cheetah in the comics, in an animation, but that was a shit version of Cheetah for live action. So I want Cheetah redone because that was ridiculous. But if Patty Jenkins makes Wonder Woman 3, she'll be back. Ronnie Dodge, I'm going to go, mate. Have a good Sunday evening. You too, Ronnie. Thank you very much. Shiny Pokemon Hunter, I always wanted Anya Taylor-Joy to play Batgirl. Well, Anya is sensational, but is it in her roadhouse to make those type of movies? She's a very special talent, and she's making top movies, isn't she? But I think you're right. She will be an excellent Batgirl. I think they'll recast Batgirl eventually. Just the hunch. Villager, but isn't Batgirl a POC character that would be disrespectful? She ain't POC in the comics, though, is she, my friend? Hunter Ricky Movies Team Mad, do you think Bryan Singer will ever direct any MCU or DCU movies? Well, I wouldn't think so, but this industry is strange. I'm going to say no. Villager, oh, wait, never mind. That's one of the reasons Zaslav shelved the movie, I think. But Bryan Singer did two great X-Men movies, and that can never be taken away from him. Villager, lol, no, it's not. I don't know what you're talking about now. But there's definitely lots to be excited about, and hopefully some announcements sooner rather than later. But yes, very interesting from James Gunn tonight. I am surprised. That is literally a definitive no on the haircut. Villager, that gives me hope that they will connect with fans the way Faye connects with his dumb shills. He doesn't really connect as much as he used to. I mean, he used to do the conventions and stuff, and he still kind of does the announcements and stuff. But I think things have changed with Feig ever since he became Marvel president, Marvel Studios president. He doesn't seem as chilled as he used to be. The pressure is on. Because he's created this universe and he has to keep it going. That's a lot of pressure for one person, but he's put that pressure on himself. Villager, oh, now Feig is in hiding. Why? It's all fishy. He's not in hiding. Who told you that? Villager, I mean, he isn't as interactive as he used to be. Yeah, true, but he doesn't need to be. The franchise is an automatic moneymaker. So he doesn't really have to do what he... Obviously, you do the hard work when you're trying to launch your brand. And when you've launched your brand and it's successful, you don't have to do all the legwork as much as you used to. And you imagine all the rubbish MCU movies and the money they make. The brand is just an automatic moneymaker. Just see what happens with Wakanda Forever next weekend. It'll probably make 500 million, probably over one weekend. The Animator Who Laughs 2023 is looking kind of promising for Marvel. What have they got in 2023? Ant-Man, not bad. The Marvels, mid. Villager, did you hear the rumor that people in Hollywood think that getting a role in a comic book movie is like selling yourself out? Well, I think some of them feel that way, but most of them are taking the roles, aren't they? Of course, there's a lot of snobbery over comic book movies. And also, they don't like the fact that comic book movies are dominating and there's not a variety of movies to make. That's taken their opportunity away to play different characters. So I kind of understand how a lot of these directors and actors don't have much respect and love for comic book movies. But I get it. I certainly get it. The Animator Who Laughs, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in May. Yes, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, even I'm interested in that one. Got to support the new DC Studios co-chair, haven't I? Yeah, that should be an awesome movie. The other two are great. Villager, once that movie comes out, the James Gunn fanboys will move over to DC. Yes, I think they're already here. I think they're already there. I mean, he's done 2 projects thus far, and there'll be more. So, yeah. He has got a lot of fans, part of the reason he's got this position as well, of course. Very smart. And MCU fans will be thinking, hang on, the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy is going to DC. They'll be interested. Villager, Marvel is crashing. Can't say I'm sad about it because Marvel fanboys have gotten on their high horses. Yeah, they've become too big for their own bits. And yeah, empires are destroyed from within as well. Hunter Iggy, Movies TV Mad. Bryan Singer directed a huge cast of X-Men. If he ever returns, he should direct the Justice League movies if Zack Snyder does not return. I think that's a virtually impossible scenario. John, did you see Brightburn? I did. I have a copy of it. It was okay. Not the best, not the worst. I actually was watching Morbius last night. And you know what? It's not the best movie in the world, but it ain't the clusterfuck people said it was. I'll say that as well. I thought Matt Smith was quite good in the movie. So I kind of liked it. It was kind of solid-y, but not brilliant or anything, but not bad. Hunter Icky, Movies TV Mad, if Bryan Singer ever returned to directed? Villager, do you think it's Marvel fanboys who push propaganda against Morbius and Venom? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because they want the MCU only, and they don't want the Sonyverse. So they set up all this Morbius propaganda. It's Morbin time and all that shit. Yeah, they did it. They don't want the Sony universe to succeed. But apart from Morbius, both Venom and Venom 2 have made a lot of money because those films may not be perfect, but the interactions between Venom and Eddie are entertainment gold, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why people are watching those movies for anyway. So they're kind of losing that battle, although basically Morbius helped them in their cause, but it was one movie. I don't think it's that bad. Villager, I think the Bad Bunny movie will make good movie. He's one of the biggest artists in the world, and he's Latino. Huge Latino population in the US, so I think there's a chance for that movie. John, there is going to be one more Venom movie. Yeah, they'll make another one. I think they definitely are still very ambitious about creating their own Sony Marvel universe, which officially they're calling the Spider-Man cinematic universe with no Spider-Man. Yes, I'm confused as well. Villager, do you think the new Avengers movie will be good? All I care about is Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and Clea. I don't care about anyone else. No idea. Their record at the moment isn't great. Maybe we can go back to the Marvel of old, but who knows? The Animator Who Laughs. Batman villain movies are better than Spider-Man villain movies. Oh, yeah. That's definite, isn't it? There's no question about that. Yeah, the Sonyverse hasn't been good since Sam Raimi left the Spider-Man franchise, as far as I'm concerned. The Animator Who Laughs, Batman villain, no, read that. John, was the Tobey Spider-Man movies Sony? They were Sony-owned Spider-Man. But then with Spider-Man 3, they tried to control what he did, Sam Raimi. And for some people, it went wrong. I personally don't mind Spider-Man 3, and I think people exaggerated about its badness. Villager, have you seen Rings of Power? It's flopping hard, and the diversity marketing is cringy, and I'm all for diversity. I saw the first episode. It looks good. But I didn't watch past the first episode, and I think it's the same for many, many people. But they reckon in the second season they're going to be more faithful to Tolkien's material. Yeah, they certainly bent the knee quickly, which means they know the numbers weren't good, and they spent a lot of money on that series. Villager, will you watch the Fallout Amazon show? I shall certainly check it out. Yeah, I'll check out the first episode and see if I like it. Of course, that's by Jonathan Nolan, and that's the brother of Christopher Nolan. But Jonathan Nolan is just as talented as his brother, that's for sure. He was also involved in Person of Interest, which was also a great show. I think we'll wrap up in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So get your comments in. The Animator Who Laughs. Favorite movie trilogy. Oh. Well, if you take away Lethal Weapon 4, I'm going to say Lethal Weapon. But it's not really an official trilogy, is it? The Dark Knight trilogy is pretty cool. Back to the Future is pretty cool. I think Indiana Jones's first 3 movies are fantastic as well. Villager, of course, everyone's shit on it, saying it would be bad, but Jonathan Nolan is a great writer, so it will definitely be better than Rings of Power. Oh, Jonathan Nolan is a genius. I mean, genius must run in the family. So, yeah, I mean, I've got no doubts about Jonathan Nolan. I mean, Person of Interest was brilliant. John, I love the series Person of Interest. It was very good. And we had Jesus himself playing the lead role. And we had Benjamin Linus from Lost as well, another great actor. So it was a really good show. When I say Jesus, I mean Jesus from Passion of the Christ, who a long time ago was considered to maybe play Superman. I'll die for you, and that's the truth. I'll do anything you want me to. Henrik, not Jesus from Collinger Street. No, Henrik. Jesus from Passion of the Christ. Personally, I haven't even heard of Collinger Street. You've got a couple of minutes to get your comments in, everyone. When you find love. That's it. That's enough. The Animator Who Laughs. When do you think we'll get an official Flash trailer? It will probably be attached to Shazam Fury of the Gods. Villager Lol. John and the actress from Black Adam was also in Person of Interest. Henrik. Okay, my bad. You think Den Haag it will last this season? I mean, Aston Villa. The Aston Villa game was a disgrace. But yes, he will last because he's building something. I don't have a problem with the manager, but he's in a rebuild. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But there's no excuses for losing today. We were playing one of the shittest teams in the league. So no matter who's playing, who's not playing, who we didn't buy, we should have been beating Aston Villa. But yes, I think that Erik ten Hag has got a big future at Manchester United. Henrik, yeah, give him time. Just look at Arteta at Arsenal. Yeah, just look at Arteta. But he was always going to be successful. He was trained by Pep. He's a very good manager. He got rid of all the divas from the club as well. So very, very important. Villager, what do you think of singers becoming actors? People I know have told me singers want to become actors because the music industry is too competitive and soul destroying. I don't think that's the reason, Villager. I just think that people are ambitious and they want to give acting a try as well as singing. And I think it's cool. I mean, it's a big risk when you do it. You could fail. So, you know, there's a lot of bravery attached to that as well. So good for them. Power to them. Because the acting profession is even more difficult than the singing profession. There's not enough work for everyone. Right, I'll read a couple of more, then I'm going to wrap up. Villager, Harry Styles seems to be failing. Gaga is succeeding, and Taylor is failing. You can't fail when you've got their money. They've already been a success, haven't they? And success doesn't last forever. In the end, you're going to drop off. And the older Taylor gets, the more she'll drop off, because it really is about her youth. So everyone, I'm going to wrap up shortly. I'll be back tomorrow with the DC Universe Daily Live. I'll record you a special video, as I do. We'll be talking about something, and I'll be back tomorrow night for another live evening chat, and I'll be looking forward to that. I have really, really, really enjoyed tonight's chat. Henry, you think Black Adam will open big in China? I really liked the movie, so did I. A good, fun DC action movie. Apparently, it's banned now in China. Villager, yeah, Taylor is afraid of flopping. Her career gives her a sense of worth. It's sad to see, but maybe she'll make it as an actress. We'll see. Well, because she's Taylor Swift, she gets the opportunity struggling actresses will never get, and that's very sad. But that's how it works, I'm afraid. She has an established fan base. She's one of the most famous singers of all time. So, yeah. So, everyone, thank you, everyone, for joining. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and never, never miss this beautiful perfection. Henrik, ha ha ha, Black Adam banned because Pierce Brosnan met Dalai Lama years back. China is effed. Thanks for that, Henrik. So until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, and don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow.